So, Dean Sadler, Tribepad Software Solutions. This is some of our clients, and I'm really proud of this list of clients. They're fantastic to work with. I mean, if you want to become Doctor Who or the next Archbishop of Canterbury, you have to use our software. So the BBC, Church of England, Tesco's. We process over 1 million job applications per calendar month in over 120 countries, and it's 14 different languages now. Tesco's alone, 2 million people per annum apply for a role at Tesco's, but only 150,000 people actually get a job. So that's 2.3 million people that get rejected. And obviously, they need that candidate experience to be really high because they still need those individuals to shop in those stores on a weekly basis. We asked some of our clients recently what their biggest issues were and what they were interested in. And the feedback from them was finding high caliber candidates and then onboarding the candidate experience and then diversity inclusion. So what I want to go through today is just some of those points and then share with you some of the results and what our clients have actually anticipated or received. Warren Buffett was asked, what is a high caliber hire? What's that great hire look like? And he came up with this suggestion. But he said, you just can't recruit for IQ or grades. You have to hire for these types of personality traits in order for that person to be great. Okay? Now, the Australians have a different way of saying the same thing. Okay? A lot more succinct, straight to the point. And the New Zealand rugby coach operates his team on this premise. i.e., if you can't change the people, change the people. But do everything you can to help those people change. So some of the technology that is out there today and stuff that we're working on is about helping businesses identify the right type of people through non-traditional means, i.e. through not a CV. So one of the technologies that's becoming very prevalent and used by a large number of our clients today is video interviewing. Now there's a number of ways to do video interviewing, okay? So you can do asynchronous or in your own time, or you can do live, so Skype type environment. In both scenarios, you've got a lot of things that are beneficial over above a normal face-to-face. So in this type of environment where you're asking a set of questions, so let's say 3 or 4 questions to every candidate, and you're getting a response from those candidates in their leisure, you can mark or rank those individual questions based on certain characteristics, i.e. you're not stuck with a 1 to 5 on a specific characteristic. So I could be asking, what is this person's energy level like? Do they smile a lot? Are they presentable, etc.? Now, in this role, what we do here is we allow the candidate to take a video, and we separate the two components of the video into audio and images. And the audio, we transcribe into text. And what that allows you to do is say, show me all the candidates that answered question number 3 and said London. Okay, so you can filter via what the person's saying. Then what we do is we take that text and we put it into 3 algorithms, Big 5, Neo, and NLP, and we can start building some personality profiles around that individual. The images, we do facial recognition and facial profiling, so you can work out if this individual's smiling, frowning, looking up to the top left to try and think creatively about what they're saying. And then we put the two components together again. So we've now got a timeline, so at 1 minute 37 seconds into that video answer, we now know that this individual is smiling, they're energetic, their hand movements are very expressive, and they're talking about a project that they were working on and really excited and energized about. So you're getting more information from that individual through using some of these technologies. Then what you can do is build this spider diagram and say, right, this is what this individual's personality is like, and compare them to the average of the individuals that applied for this role, or compare them with another individual. So you can do a comparison between two individuals based on this set of criteria. And then you can bring out the words that this individual is talking about a lot, or this cohort of individuals are talking about. So you can get some real-time feedback with regard to the major topics that people are interested in. And again, you can build a deeper level personality based on this technology. And we use IBM and Google and Amazon. But there's other technologies out there, including HireVue, that do similar functionality to this. Another piece of technology that I like, that's free, okay, by the way, is 16 personalities. So you can go to this website, you can fill in a questionnaire, it takes less than 10 minutes, and it comes back with one of 16 personalities for you. And we use this internally in our business as well as the video technology. And then for $149, you can buy a book that kind of explains that personality in detail and then gives you information pertaining to how these people interact or how to get the best out of these type of personalities. Onboarding, second major component, okay, that our clients are interested in. There's a website down here on the slide. I won't go through everything, but lots of information pertaining to onboarding there. One of our clients, G4S, they process or they recruit 260,000 people per annum globally. But one of the instances that they require is to put a security guard into Bank of America in the US. Now, normally or historically, they would require that individual to fill in 57 forms. And you think, well, that's a lot. Well, the reality is that this individual is maybe, somewhere near minimum wage. He's in an environment where there's a load of cash and he's got a gun. Okay? So they need to make sure that this individual is sufficiently or the right type of individual to work in this environment. Okay? The second, probably just as important capability from onboarding is the ability to have evidence-based compliance, i.e. the ability to prove that this individual has gone through a set process and is consistent. Because if you can't do that, then there's serious fines associated with not being able to prove that this individual has the right to work or is able to work with vulnerable children, adults, etc. Third component, candidate experience. Now, when you post a job through any ATS, there's a large process that goes on in the background with regard to getting that role into the right place. So, first of all, you need to get onto your website. That website needs to be sufficiently SEO marked up, semantically marked, so that it gets picked up by the search engines, but also gets pushed out into social media. Then you can push the job through job board aggregators such as Broadbean or Logic Mailing, etc., and then push out into the relevant job boards. Okay? So there's a fair bit in order to get your job distributed. So you need to understand where you're going to push your role, and it's invariably different depending on the type of role you're in. So a C-level executive, you're going to present that job in these locations, whereas blue-collar, warehouse type role, you're going to push somewhere else. And you need your systems to be able to define on a per-role basis where you're actually going to put those people. Once you've got that role out there, okay, you need to attract those individuals, and you need to be able to talk to them and resonate with those individuals in a way that you, as an employer, want to brand yourself. So one of our clients, the BBC, are really big on video presentations of what it's like to work, not only at the BBC, but in this role. And what that allows you to do is increase that employer branding, but also enhances the reach, because the Googles and the Bings of the world actually take that semantic markup from that video and present it somewhere different. Okay, so you click on Google and all, it shows you the text and the websites. You click on videos and obviously highlights the videos that it's found. The video component also enables you to identify or show your cultural fit. This is the type of individual that works here. And from a diversity point of view, it's great to say, look, these are people that you will be working with, and they really are just like you. The second method or area to actually start thinking about video in the candidate experience is when you're actually replying to that candidate. So imagine the scenario where a candidate's applied, you've just moved them from application into interview stage. Now, a lot of businesses will simply send them an email saying, thank you very much, you've been invited to an interview, here's the information pertaining to that interview. Now imagine the scenario if you actually presented that individual with a video of the hiring manager or the person that they'll be working with, says, really great to invite you to an interview, really looking forward to meeting you, okay, and then they're explaining a bit about themselves. You put the individual at ease, you've shown them that this is the type of organisation that you are, you're friendly, you're outgoing, the culture, etc., and you've just made an impact straight away. And the third and final thing is you need to communicate in such a way that it's relevant. So if you send an email, we've all got it where, you've got 200-300 emails in your inbox that you haven't read and you'll get round to it, okay, sometime next week or the weekend. But if you send an SMS to that individual, over 90% of people that receive an SMS read it within 3 minutes. Okay, so if you send in, if you want to introduce somebody into an interview process, send them an SMS, you're pretty much going to get direct feedback from that individual within minutes. From a diversity point of view, okay, there's lots of things you can do. So one of our clients, Sodexo, got certification for the Disability Confidence program, and what they wanted was some system changes within their process. And this was, process-orientated and purely training. And they made what is called reasonable adjustments, i.e. there's certain situations where, it's unreasonable to assume that, you can hire a disabled individual because of, the logistics of that environment. However, you can work on accessible help pages. You can make the hiring managers aware that this individual needs some assistance when they come to an interview. So just by highlighting in the relevant place in the process that this individual needs some assistance, and then all the information pertaining to that individual in the background, they can make significant improvements. Now, they got an 18% increase in the number of, or the great diversity through changing this process. Other clients, okay, have requested that, they want to anonymize this information. So you can remove certain information about that individual at certain stages in the process. So you don't have to show their name, the university they went to, etc. Going back to the video interview, and you can actually anonymize the video interviewing process. So we've got some clients that say, we want to do a video interview, but we don't want to see the video. Oh, well, that doesn't make sense, okay? But what they do want to see is what that individual said. And once they've seen what that individual said, then they're interested in looking further into that candidate. Now, what this actually does, okay, is it moves the unconscious bias in the process. It doesn't necessarily remove it entirely. So it moves it from the stage where the hiring manager is first looking at those candidates and sifting them into a shortlist phase. But at that stage, it then becomes anonymized, okay, or unanonymized, and they start to see that individual. And we haven't seen, or we've not heard, that it's making a massive difference. It's just moving that unconscious bias. Okay, and so a summary, okay? Technology enables the process, okay? But you still have to get the process right. If you're automating a terrible process, it's still a terrible process. It's just faster, okay? Anonymization moves, but doesn't necessarily remove. Okay, it may, but I'm not suggesting it will. Diversity isn't just limited to, race, gender, age, etc. Okay, I think we need to start thinking about personality. There's individuals out there, in my world, we have a lot of software developers who are introverted. Okay, that's great because you sit them in a dark room and they just code. Unfortunately, they're really bad at communicating, so you never understand what the timescales are and whether they're going to deliver on time or not. So you need to make your mix of that team relevant in order to get the best of it. It's a journey. You need to educate your employees. That's probably the most important thing. You can change these processes to make certain things occur, but if the hiring manager isn't aware that, or isn't bought into the concept of this is an inclusive environment, then you're simply just going to move that process. And it isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's impossible to buy a software package off the shelf that is going to solve everything. Even within our clients, they have different roles, and each role requires different pieces of capability, different processes, and different results. So that's the end of my presentation. I believe I've got some time for questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. Thank you very much, Dean. Thank you.